name's Natalia Olson, and I'm the co-founder of the Disruptive Factory. It's a woman-led company in California and Washington, D.C. I started the Disruptive Factory with 5 amazing women, and we work with a lot of technologies that are trying to solve the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. We work with companies that are trying to help other big companies achieve their environmental social governance. There's a lot of technologies, especially in Silicon Valley, where I live, that are trying to figure out how to help the environment, how to build inclusivity, how to communicate, how to create good transportation systems, how to figure out ways that we're helping the world. So we work with angel investors and VCs, and we're trying to promote these technologies across the world. So we help them with their financial, we help them achieve the next pilot, and we help them grow. So we're very excited because it's all about helping companies grow. Well, I am an entrepreneur before anything. And entrepreneurship for me has been since the beginning, since I was a small kid. I worked every summer in my grandfather's hardware store, and I love to make money. So I always have been able to balance between work and starting a company, or studying and starting a company, or figuring out ways that I can help someone start a company. So when we talk about the professional careers, the professional ladder that we experience, one of the most important things is to not be afraid. What I can tell you from my personal history is that it's important for you to learn about the different organizations. There's a balance between politics and business. How can we actually figure out how to help the political world understand that entrepreneurship is something very important? So from my side, I grew up in the government. I actually started a company when I was in college, when I came to the U.S. to study. And everyone kept telling me, no, it's not possible. That's a crazy idea. It's never going to work. And I actually, that was a challenge. Those were some of the things that we can't listen to. It's important to be able to say, let me try it. I'm young. What's going to happen? I can fail, which is fine. Failing, especially in the U.S., it's not a problem at all. We actually are able to get up and start over again. Just like my second company. My second company, it failed, completely failed. I didn't do my homework. I didn't do research enough. And so one of the things that I recommend is to look for mentors, to look for role models, people that can give you better advice. My grandmother used to say, "Con una luz nadie se pierde," which is, saying, with a little bit of guidance, we can actually find our way. So I completely failed my second company, but I got up and started again, a completely different company. I focused a lot on sustainable transportation and energy alternative, something that people didn't think about, green building. And so I was a planning and zoning commissioner for the city of Philadelphia, and I said, I only want to approve green buildings. That's the only thing that we're going to try and approve. And people did not like it. Developers were very set in their way. And so I really focus on education. How do I educate consumers? How do I educate policymakers so they would actually be able to see that green buildings were better for the future, were better for our children, they were better for air quality. And so we started a movement. We created a green economy, which actually helped us get other industries and other products into the market. So it was a balance between public policy, government, and business. How are we all going to work together in order for us to have alternative energy and sustainable products? The many challenges that I see that we're going to be facing in my industry, and I think for entrepreneurs in general, and for women businesses, is going to be the idea of changing the status quo, changing culture, changing the way people envision younger generations, younger entrepreneurs. But at the same time, I think that we will need to have a better conversation between millennials and people who are retiring. We'll have to be able to have, a dialogue and teaching each other about what each one is learning and what the other one left behind. When we look at businesses and we look at a transformation of what an entrepreneur was 20 years ago and what an entrepreneur is today, we see a lot of companies, young companies. The Googles of the world only started 20 years ago. And so the idea here is, how do we build that company that will be, the new Microsoft, the new Facebook, the new Google? How do we create an ecosystem that supports them, that doesn't put them down, that gives counseling and mentoring, that shows them the way forward? Many people, like I said before, told me it's not possible. It's not possible. That's a crazy idea, and we have to, those are going to be the challenges. And I think that when we look at cultures across the world, women in general will have to stop apologizing. They will have to start saying, yes, I can. Yes, I can go ahead and get some financing. Yes, I can go ahead and start a company. Yes, I can balance between my family and a business and everything else I need to do. So being an entrepreneur, it's always a challenge. But the challenge is to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You cannot let anyone tell you that you can't accomplish your mission, your goals. You can't look at, you have to want to reach for the sun, for the stars, to get to the moon. And so we will always have challenges as entrepreneurs, but I think it's going to be a lot of convincing of different generations, and I think that we will need to be able to have a better conversation with especially our older generations, people who are retiring, who have an amazing knowledge, and I want to learn from them. I want younger people to learn from older folks because they have so much experience. So how do we balance that and not look at it as a challenge but as an opportunity?